Welcome back to Yellow Hammer. I'm Connor, and we're going to be talking about how my GT350 might have nearly killed me. And now that I have your attention, you're probably wondering, okay, Connor, how did your 350 maybe unalive you? Yeah. And now I know what you're currently thinking. Well, did you have your lug nut to torque? And yeah, I did. I verified that they were at 145. Technically, 130, give or take 15 foot-pound will be what the recommended rating will be for a wheel on I think any like 15 and up car. But anyhow, we verified that I didn't have, a wheel or a lug nut backing off. Currently, at the point in time, I'm thinking it may be either the hub going out and the driver on the rear had that, and we will talk about that in a moment. However, I got back from a red mirror event. The car had been completely fine before then. I do a pre-flight check on any car I take on a road trip. Did not have that problem before, and I am wondering if either a control arm bolt might have backed out a little bit, or if the hub could be going out, or if the hub nut might be backing out a little bit. And we're gonna go ahead and take the wheel off over here, and rotor, caliper, and look at the hub, look at the control arm, whatever other arm we might have back here, whatever you want to call it, and verify that they are tightened to the correct torque, and we will try to figure out what to do from there. Okay, after getting the wheel off, I am thrown a little bit for a loop here. Very minimal play in the one here on the right, like that. About identical to how the wheel moved when I had the wheel on here. But over here on the driver, I turned the rotor a little bit. I do have the e-brake off right now, and I get that it'll have a little bit more play without the e-brake on. But it will periodically, depending on rotor, where I have the rotor turned to, it will kind of tighten up, like right there. Not really moving hardly at all. I don't think I have a warped rotor. I don't really know how I could have. I don't ever park the car with I don't ever pull the e-brake with the car after I've gotten the, been heavy on the braking. And all right, wrapping up to the left over here. Till the e-brake off. And no more vertical movement. No more left to right movement. Good to go on that. Felt a lot tighter. Did come with a longer, I think the name of them, but do have longer with the MMR all the way around now, not the front. Definitely no complaint there. But now with the wheel taken off over here on the right, go ahead and try to walk y'all through what to do over here. All right, looking at the bottom back part of the hub here on the ground, you got your e-brake cable right here running up to a clip up here to the top of that bracket, and that will hold it at the top, and that will hold it at the bottom to pull the e-brake. You pull it, it'll go up. Now I have it off, and that'll be why it'll be down. And you have to kind of walk that off of that little arm here. And I've got a pair of them. Probably no wrong or right way to do it, but however you can get it will be however you'll get it. And I'm gonna go ahead and take that off now, and we'll go from there. All right, we got that up now. Number one thing I could probably recommend would be trying to hold the coil like that, and then you'll have to pull toward the top of it outward, and it'll kind of walk down that little hook here. And now I have to get it out the top, and I'll bring you along for that. Alright, moving on to taking off what I can on the brake caliper until I get the upper bracket off. It'll be a 18 mil, and I'm going to go ahead and take the bottom off, and then we'll work up to getting the cable out of the top of the bracket. Brake caliper off. You kind of have to like pull down on the coil here and get the little locking tab from the cable out from the top part of the bracket. But we're going to move on to taking off the entire knuckle all the way around through here. Alright, after getting the 18 millimeter bolt out of the caliper to bracket, I did kind of go over, or not really record anything about getting that out of here, but I will go ahead and try to walk you through that. What you can kind of do, you can tell right here, maybe, you have to try to hold and talk about that one hand, but you'll have to put the black cable part in that little cutout here, and you'll have to like pull down the coil there. And I did it with my finger. You might be able to do it with a tool if you have a better one, but kind of put them in far enough to let it come out of that. They will grab on the bottom of that, and then after that you can move it out of the way. Again, talking about earlier, a lot of people were talking about like not having to take anything off, you know, here, or there to get to the hub, but we had to take off here, there, oops, we had to take off here, there, and take that off there, and 15 right there for that one, and I think, or my bad, 18 here for that nut, 15, no, 18 back on the bottom, 18, 15, 18 right there, and I think that one here on the back will be a 15, yep, that one right here on the back will be a 15, and then you've got a 8 mil holding that in right there. And I'm gonna go ahead and take all that off now to where we only have the knuckle, your backing plate for your rotor, and e-brake, everything to do with that. And then we will pull off the entire knuckle from the half shaft and only have right here remaining, and then we'll put the new hub on. Okay. The only idea I could think of had been to put the entire like hub in the wheel to torque down the hub bolt. Okay, after that little wheel trick, I literally don't know any other way to try to torque them down while you have it on the hub. Wouldn't be that big of a deal if the hub didn't turn, but yeah, that felt a lot better too. It wouldn't be that big of a deal if the hub didn't turn while you're trying to torque it, but putting it in the wheel and then putting a, you know, 2 or 3 lug nut on it to hold it from kind of lifting up and turning will definitely help you out a lot there. And you can torque them down to 98 foot-pound. I went ahead and did 100 for, you know, my mind, but I've got everything put back together. Lower control arm, toe link, other part of the control arm, I don't know the terminology for everything here anymore, but I'm gonna go ahead and get that tightened down. I literally have no idea of the torque for every one of them, but you know, turn them out with the breaker bar. I'm gonna turn them back in with the breaker bar, and you know, we'll put the rotor and caliper back on and the wheel and call it a day after that. But I'll kind of bring you along for everything there, you know, hooking everything back up and whatnot. Grab our little cable here, go ahead and put that back in, right there with the bolt. Did clean it off, like how we did on the lift. And I'm gonna get that bolt here fairly tight, but not too tight. Don't have a very big bolt to work with. You do not want to break that off in the knuckle. I'll torque that down. And now I'm going to put the caliper and your bracket on for the e-brake, and that will go in order like that, with the bracket in behind the knuckle, and then your caliper will go in front of it. Finally, thank God, wrapping up the kind of putting everything back together here on the right. Again, you have to like pull down on the coil, then bring the cable up over into, then put it back down into for the locking tab. And now coming back in editing, I apparently didn't do an outro video, but that'll be it relatively. The only thing I had left after that point in time had been to put the wheel back on and torque it down, and we're here now about a month later after a little bit of mountain driving, back road driving, whatever you might want to call it, and the MRR rear hub kit holding it completely fine. I have failed of them, no play at all yet. I'm hoping that they will go for quite a bit of time, hopefully longer than the 20K mile period that the OEM did. Kinda pitiful on that. But anyway, thank you all for coming by, and I'll talk to you in another video.